deadlifts, a couple things you need to think about. One, I should probably have somebody look at my form before I start putting any weight on this. A couple of common faults is standing up and then pulling with your back, which is a good way to get hurt. A couple of other things are, trying to have a rounded back, not being super tight, moving your head up and down. So you really want to get somebody to work with on this. It seems very simple, but you can also get hurt if you're not careful. You could also hurt your shins if your knees are too far forward when you start and you pull the bar up into it. I think Sky might have a bruise from that still. Probably not, but maybe. So a couple keys to think about. I talked about a 30% warm-up. Well, what does 30% mean? It doesn't really mean much unless you've actually worked through what we call a 5-rep max scheme. So figure out how to move the right way, i.e. get some coaching, get somebody to look at you. If I have time, certainly can video chat and we can get there that way. But you want to be able to move right so that so you can figure out what your 5-rep max is going to be. And what your 5-rep max is going to be 85% of what your 1-rep max is going to be. So then you can figure out what your 30% is. The way I do my programming is, depending on what time of the season it is, what I'm actually training to do, I may not be training to be just as strong as I can be, but I may be trying to incorporate different movements like deadlifts into jumping, into lateral stability, into other strength means and modalities. So I don't go all out all the time. I usually start progressing by weeks, and I'll start at like a 65%, then I'll work myself to a 70%. And really the focus is getting the volume to where I want it to be, to where I can move athletically with strength. So today's workout that I'm doing, or today's training session, I like calling training sessions because working out just means you're working, you're not actually specific about what your intentions are, is going to be a 6 sets by 4 at 70%. And then we're going to get into squat jumps. Clearly what I'm trying to work on here this off season is continuing to press that vertical, or that kinetic chain upwards as hard as violently as I can. I mean, I'll use that word a lot. So the workout is, or the training is 6 sets of 4 followed by squat jumps. We want to rest 2 minutes and 30 seconds in between sets. And the reason for that is your body has ATP stores that it needs to recover. When you go hard, when you're actually expending strength, like a sprinter, that ATP is gone quick, like 5 seconds. You need time to restore your body to be able to push that load again. So the keys, just to remember, first thing as always is stay tight, right? Whenever you're doing this. Course tight, act like you'd be taking a punch while you're doing this. The bar should go along your shins. Your feet should be 8 to 10 inches apart. Your toes can be outward slightly. Shins need to be close to vertical so you don't smash your shins up too bad. And you need to have synchronized movement, i.e. you're standing up as your hips and back come at the same time. It's not a stand up and then here, and it's not a stand up and then, or it's not a back up and then stand up. It is a truly synchronized from here at the same time pulling up. It's a hard thing to do, especially when you have weight, but it's certainly key. 2 last things you need to think about. You need to be pushing the ground away with your feet. When you start to think that way, you're actually driving the ground away. You'll start to really feel it in your glutes, your hammies, etc., etc. And the last thing is return the bar on the same path. Don't drop it, don't slump, stay tight, and continue to work through it. I'm going to give you guys just I'm going to work through the first set. I'll show you what mine look like. Your squat jumps, Don't worry about them being perfect, because you're going to be kind of smoked, especially by the time set 6 comes around. Really focus on just driving up as high as you can, getting down deep like you would on a block, and then getting as high as you possibly can. Cool?